Hey, welcome back to a very special episode, Halloween special of the Sports Plug with Charlie Whitehurst, Chef Boy RD, and that man Dooley.
What's going on, everybody?
What
Nothing
up,
much.
bud?
We're in this Halloween special today. We have some crazy games to talk about. I'm here taking place for X Williams. He invited me here for Halloween. I am back in my natural habitat with my clipboard and my headset on the sidelines. That is what I do. I am Clipboard Jesus, and I hope you have a great time watching us today on this very special Halloween episode. Chef Boy RD, how are you doing today?
I'm doing mighty fine, sir. There was a lot of players out there cooking it up in the kitchen, so I'm definitely looking forward to talking about that. And let's talk about who was cooking it up and who was putting out some trash.
Yeah, hey, on the sideline, I make sure I got the cooking right from my quarterback. Gotta make sure he's out there throwing them footballs so I can get paid on the sideline. Because that's what I do. All right. Let's make sure we let the boys and girls know. Make sure you like and share this episode so more folks can watch this. And also, if you are on Twitter, make sure you watch X Williams 81. And if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe on the Sports Plug. And if you are listening on Anchor on our podcast, you cannot see this great lineup of a cast we have today, but you're going to hear us today. All right. Now let's get started with this NFL Week 6 recap. We're going to start out with Thursday Night Football. All right. The Giants and the Eagles. Danny Dimes, he's a quarterback I feel like he needs to be right next to the sideline to me. What about you, Ish? He's out there running for his life like he running, from that shooter on Friday. Slow motion. He ran too fast for his feet and fell over. What happened that game?
Yeah, this game was pure garbage. I mean, it was like going to McDonald's, to be honest. Didn't want it, didn't like it. There was nothing for me here, okay? The Eagles, they won a game they were supposed to win, which I guess in the game of football, teams that win championships are teams that win games they're supposed to win. But in all reality, this was a game between two teams who are horrible, and that is exactly what we got to see. Horrible football. I mean, it was disgusting from the beginning to the end. I was not thrilled. I'm not happy with the Eagles. I don't think that they did anything to make me feel better about them, other than the other three teams in their division are complete hot garbage. So that's the only reason why they're going to make the playoffs.
Dooley, what you think about this game?
Well, honestly, it's scary because, first of all, I'd like to tell the people I did not know about the Halloween festivities, otherwise I would have been able to participate. But anyways, that's just a different discussion for a different day. So, by the way, great costume, boys. Great costume.
This ain't no costume. This is my natural habitat on the sideline.
I got you. So, about the Eagles versus the Giants, my good fellow men. Honestly, like it said, the team that was supposed to won the game. But what's scary is the NFC least is probably going to come down to the Eagles and the Washington football team. Okay? Yes, I said it. It's definitely not going to come down to the Cowboys. And the Giants, even though they lost to the Washington football team, I think the Washington football team is still better than the New York Giants this season. That's just me. But the Eagles won a game they were supposed to win in the weakest division in football. Good job for them. I'm sure the fans in Philadelphia are going crazy. But you know what? It won't be enough to seal the deal, okay? So good job, Eagles. But I really don't have much to say about this. They're now number one in the division at 2-4-1. My Redskins, my football team, are 2-4. You get what I'm saying? So we're just gonna have to see how things play out in the division, But anyways,
now if you want to be technical, we updated the standings, and right now Washington football team is 2-5. So we need to get you up to date, up to speed. All right. We're going to get you back on that sideline, get you right there, Dooley. All right, let's check in on these comments right here. We got some laughter going on. I think they're laughing at that Thursday night football game, or they might be laughing at us. Sour Patch Kid on YouTube checking us out. She says she's dying at Ish and shaking my head at Napoleon Rubber Show.
I'm not Ish. I'm Chef Boy RD.
I don't know who Ish is. That is Chef Boy RD. And Christine says, hi, I'm here. Trust us. We know you're here because we're going to get on your Eagles real soon. Next game, Lions versus Falcons. What you guys think about this game?
You want to go? So what?
I don't want to go because I don't even want to talk about them. I mean, they're two teams that are just, I don't even know what to say right now. The Falcons, man, it's a hot mess. I wish they would trade Julio Jones. Matt Ryan, they said they're not going to trade him, so whatever. But they definitely need to go ahead and let these guys go because there's nothing in Atlanta for anybody there that wants to win games. They should have won this game. I can't believe Todd Gurley said he didn't mean to score the touchdown, went and tripped or fell, whatever that was. I mean, Mike, you can't even not score a touchdown to win a game. Like, this is how bad it has gotten in Atlanta. You have nobody around you. All you got to do is fall down, and this man went all the way to the goal line, fell down, and then said, well, I was trying to not score. Where was that? I didn't see it. And then your defense allows them to drive down and win the game. This is, I mean, it's terrible. Detroit is somehow 3-3. I don't know. There are teams for me like Chicago where somehow they have a better record than what they should have because they really should be 0-6.
Now, one thing I know about this game is I had to bring out my clipboard because watching this game was crazy because one thing I know about playing football, National Football League, is that when I played, I fell down a lot, okay? Now, one thing I know about football is know how to fall. Now, I would have fell on the 1 yard line, but apparently Todd Gurley, he said he didn't know. But if we play the record back and we go back and watch some film when he played the Rams, he fell down not once, but twice. All right? So now, the Atlanta Falcons, they finding new ways to lose. How you find new ways to lose? If you want to find new ways to lose, sign me to a 1 year deal. I'll help you from the sideline. Dooley, help me out here, man.
Man, well, as we were discussing last week, when you got Matty Ice at the helm, what more do you expect, boys? Okay, like I was saying, I'd rather Matt Stafford than Matt Ryan. Okay, and that, yes, I've said this once again. I mean, let's not act while you're over there giving me that look, Ish. Let's not act like Matt Ryan is 5 to 10 times better than Matthew Stafford.
He led him to a Super Bowl.
Who did he win the Super Bowl?
It don't matter. Has Matt Stafford been there?
Matt Stafford came out of the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
It is cute. It is cute.
Honestly, the best way to describe those two, we're going to have to go back and look at the stats on their careers just to check it out because Matt Stafford's stats compared to Matt Ryan's stats. Oh, yeah, obviously.
Matt Ryan's still going to be – Matt Ryan, you get me out of my voice, all right? Matt Ryan's still going to win that, all right? Don't you do that today, boy.
Yeah,
we're going to look at the stats, you're still going to lose.
That's fine to you guys, but to me, Matt Stafford's just as good. You know, and, hey, it's okay. Listen, you got the best receiver in football, right? Yet you can't even win a few games with your offense. You can't even put up 29, 30 points consistently. You're right. It's just right. They need to get Julio out of town for some draft picks. And guess what? They need to let go of Matt Ryan too and start over. Matty Ice needs to find himself with a new franchise where he can start fresh and make something happen.
Get him out of there.
Yes.
No, he can be a backup.
I know those words. Back up.
I don't know about that, but
those are my favorite words right there.
Right. You know?
Yeah, Matty, you can come sit next to me on the bench. All right. Next game, we're going to talk about some guys at this game had to sit on the bench after this game was over with and won't play for the rest of the season. And who I'm talking about is OBJ. OBJ got hurt on the third play of the game, having to tackle somebody after a Baker Mayfield interception. But instead of getting pulled, like I'm used to getting pulled, he stayed in the game and completed 21 straight passes after that. Browns end up winning that game in a last 2-minute shootout, back and forth. And Baker Mayfield ended up winning that game for the Browns. Now moving forward, the Browns. What do we make of them? Do we take them seriously without OBJ? Moving forward, what do? We know the Bengals are out of it. They're playing for next year. But for the Browns, do they really have a chance without OBJ? Let me know, Chef Boyardee.
I mean, I don't think that the Browns, I think the offense might be a little bit better without OBJ. I think with OBJ there, you are expected to throw the ball to him. There's a lot of pressure on Baker Mayfield to get him the ball, things like that. And I think it's going to get a lot better without OBJ there because Baker won't have that pressure to get him the ball. Prayers go out to OBJ. I think that this is an unfortunate situation, not only for him, but for the Browns as well, because rumor is that they had some trade partners out there ready to buy to make some deals. But after he gets hurt, who wants to come in and get him? The cap hit on his contract next year is $15 million. Who wants $15 million on a receiver who, to me, honestly, doesn't warrant the kind of contract that he has because the production just doesn't seem to be there consistently. And then $15 million cap hit? He just tore his ACL? I don't know, man. The Browns, for me, I'm not taking them seriously at all. They are not a contender. They may be in the playoff race now, but we'll see how long that lasts.
All right. What about you, Dooley?
Honestly, I'm with the man, Ish. Honestly, as far as like when it comes to Odell, we got to think about this here. Like you said, the man got hurt in the first couple plays. They scored 37 without you, Odell. You get what I'm saying? They don't need Odell to score points. Matter of fact, like my man just stated, the offense is more open with Odell not in the game, which makes Baker, it forces him to look at other options, which makes the whole offense more useful, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? So the fact that they don't have OBJ, exactly.
Let's check out the comments. Christine says OBJ and Baker don't have any chemistry.
None. Nice, Christine.
And Sour Patch Kid says it's Chelsea Bay. And she also asks, how often do y'all do the show? I need to tune in every week. Well, our regular cast with X Williams and Ishmael Siryon and also that man Dooley will return every Tuesday, 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern on the Sports Plug. But back into the Halloween's episode.
Oh, just one last comment about
Yes, sir.
Baker had to win that game because if he didn't win that game, how you let a rookie in Burrow beat you and you're supposed to be some kind of Heisman Trophy winner? Man, listen, if Baker did not win that ball game, ladies and gentlemen, that would have been the beginning of the end of Baker Mayfield. Okay, he might just have turned his career around by winning that ball game. That's just me.
Now, you might be right because, like you said, he might have been on the bench with me after that game, losing to the young kid. He might have been in trouble in his spot. And you're correct, Dooley. You're correct. Now, let's get to a game we thought was going to be more hard-hitting, but it turned into a hard hit from the Steelers. But the Titans tried to come back in the second half, just didn't have enough. Didn't have enough, just like me playing in the field. I just didn't have enough. But when the dust settled amongst these two teams, how do you feel about these two teams after this big game?
They are who we thought they were. I mean, I think that they both are championship contender teams. It was a good game at the end of the day, a tale of two halves, to be honest. The Steelers came out and they were whipping up on the Oilers. I thought, man, It's not looking good, but I have faith. Unlike you, X, I saw the text you were sending in the group chat. You were talking mess on your team, man. I have faith in the Oilers. I never thought the day would come where I would have more faith in the Oilers than you did. But anyway, I knew King Henry was that man. I had faith in Ryan Tannehill. He has shown us that he can come back from these types of situations, and they did just that. I mean, honestly, it should have went to overtime. They missed that field goal. But I think at the end of the day, these two teams will go deep in the playoffs. They may see each other again. And one of them will be playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game.
Dooley?
My man, I just got something to say about your Tennessee Titans. Great team, but this is what they need to work on. Just looking at the stats a little bit here. You got Big Ben having 3 interceptions on the day, okay? Throwing the ball 49 times. My man, when is the defense of the Tennessee Titans going to step up and take this team to the promised lands?
That's not what they do.
Don't expect to run right on Derrick Henry's back all the way to the promised land.
You got to do it because the defense is bad. You got to do it.
Big Ben had 3 picks with 3 turnovers. I don't believe the Titans had any turnovers the whole game, So, in my opinion, they should have mustered up enough points to beat them, or they should have held the Steelers to less points,
See, when you talk like that, this is just how I know you guys don't watch the Titans. That's how I know, because what you said about this game is correct. But in the past, I'm talking about the defense. The defense was actually an elite defense last year. The defense is what helped the Titans make it to the AFC Championship game last year. How do I know? Because I was on the bench watching, all right? Now, this year, the defense for the Tennessee Titans is completely horrible. The secondary is tragic. Jonathan Joseph is old.
Just retired.
We're going to leave it there. He's old, all right? Adoree Jackson is still not in the game just yet. He'll be back. He'll help a little bit, but at the end of the day, the defense is horrible. 13 or 17 on third down conversions for the Steelers. You're not going to win a game like that, Tennessee. I'm not mad at the missed field goal kick at the end of the game. Want to know why? Because if we played better throughout the whole game, we wouldn't have to worry about the kicker missing the field goal in the first place. Okay? So, with that being said, Titans lost by 3 at home. Missed a field goal to almost send to overtime. You chalk it up. Everybody ain't gonna win. Every team not gonna win every regular season game. You chalk it up. You learn from it. You move on. It's week 7. Your season isn't over with. Keep as Bill Belichick would say, on to Cincinnati.
Team going the distance.
And I just told you it's the defense. You did not listen to me. I said the defense is horrible. I said they are tragic. They are disgusting. What more you want me to say? I know what's going on.
You giving too many passes. You're giving too many passes to the defense. You're making all the excuses. It's bad. They let the Texans do what they did to them.
Again, how am I making excuses if I just said they bad? Y'all not making no sense. You make my hair go crazy right now. Like, I don't understand it.
I want to see what happened when y'all face the Chiefs.
I want to see what happens when we face the Ravens week 11. All right? Christine says King Henry carried them last year and so far this year. Again, you're not listening. I just said, duh, but without the defense, we would not have made it to the AFC Championship game. Y'all are not listening. But listen, you have to listen. You have to listen. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the NFC South. The Panthers and the Saints. This was one of those games where I thought Teddy Two Gloves as a backup quarterback for the Saints. Because that's what this segment is about, backups. I thought he was going to come in there and prove why he should have been a starter in the first place for the Saints. He's undefeated in the Superdome with the Saints. I thought he was going to come in here and pull off the upset. He did not. But he did. He played well enough to almost win, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Ish, help me, because usually you get mad at me for not picking the Panthers. What happened?
I mean, they just came up against the Saints in New Orleans, and that's all. That's all it was. I mean, it was a hard-fought divisional game. Teddy played well, like you said. You were expecting him to play well. He came out and he played well. He 23 of 28, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, what else can you ask from a man that is not a guy that puts the team on his back? He's the kind of guy that he just is the general of the offense. He leads the offense. You know what they're missing? They're missing Christian McCaffrey. They don't have their guy back there. Mike Davis did okay, but not really in this game. I mean, he's been doing all right, but this game he did not. 7 carries for 12 yards. Come on now. Come on. I mean, when you don't got a team that can run the ball, when you're missing that guy, you're not going to be able to, with Teddy Bridgewater, have him carry that team to the victory. And the Saints, I mean, they're doing just enough to squeak by right now, but I'm not impressed with them. I thought they were going to be a lot better this year. It's okay right now.
Dooley, what you got?
Agreed. The Saints are nothing special, but what it is about the Panthers is, by the way, I think Teddy Bridgewater is the most underrated quarterback in the league. You could, yeah, he's pretty underrated. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. I also think he's top 10. Right at the cusp. Yeah, I said it. And this is based off how he was playing last year in New Orleans. Let's just be honest. The Saints might have been better off keeping him in the game last season rather than allowing the legendary quarterback in Drew Brees.
Ooh. That's some tough word right there. Back up taking a quarterback spot like that. We like to hear those words. Ooh, get me all jiggly inside there, Dooley.
Absolutely. You know. Other than that, he's on one of the weakest franchises in football. Carolina has things going on in the front office.
Carolina's been to 2 Super Bowls. There's franchises out here that can't even say that.
That's cute. But outside of their Super Bowl seasons, they're known for losing seasons. Stop acting like Carolina's known as a winning team. Yeah, a few years they went to the Super Bowl, but most of the time, the Carolina Panthers have been a losing franchise.
I don't agree with that. They just expanded in 96. Hey. They've only been around for 25, 30 years. Come on now, Dooley.
I agree with my man Dooley here because he's a first-year head coach. It's a first-year head coach as well. Exactly. You got to give them some time to adjust. This is their first year in this program, and they're doing pretty well. I mean, at 3-4, they really should have been in. They should have won more games than what they did. And not to mention, they're missing their best guy on offense. Like, this team could have a better record than what they have right now if it were for Christian McCaffrey being hurt. And they just released Eli Apple, who was getting them burnt.
He's a bum, that's why. Sidney Wynn says, "Good old Saints. Good old Saints." I know that's go. I know how to read. That's that Louisiana good old. I don't know why they spell it like that, but they spell it all good old X. I call it good old X.
Oh my God.
And Sour Patch Kid says, "Still curtain, baby. That was an awesome game. Awesome for you, not for Titan fans.
In the league.
Not for Titan fans. Yes, and the only undefeated team left in the NFL. On to the Bills versus the Jets. For the Bills, you scared me there. You were playing a lot of field goals there. Kicked a lot of field goals, no touchdowns there, Bills. But hey, you get it how you live. Got to win the game. By any way, any means necessary, right? And they took care of business against the Jets. Don't want to be that team to give up that dub, right? And moving forward with the Bills win, how do we look at the Bills? Do we take them seriously in the AFC moving forward?
I absolutely think you do take them seriously, and here's why. We're looking at a Buffalo Bill team that also succeeded last year as well by making the playoffs. When you talk about going back-to-back seasons to the playoffs, anybody that can go to the playoffs in the National Football League for at least 2 straight years is a team to be paying attention to. Now, on paper, we might not like them on paper. Oh, they got Josh Allen and a few other guys. We might not like them, but this team gets the job done. You get what I'm saying? And if the Bills make to the playoffs this year, I'm here to tell you they're going to make a little bit of noise. Josh Allen is also a very great young quarterback. They got a win they were supposed to get. Honestly, if they would have lost to the Jets, nobody is going to respect anybody losing to the Jets this season. Nobody. Maybe the Cowboys might lose to the Jets if they ran into each other. Who knows? But I just want to say the Buffalo Bills are real, man. They're not special, but they're watchable. There's something to pay attention to.
Look like Chef Boyardee got a disagreement for the first time.
Whoa. Just when I thought I was going to invite you to the cookout, Dooley, then you got me thinking that you somebody that put raisins in your potato salad. Because let me say this now.
That's not cooking right there. Even I ain't making no goddamn raisins with potato salad
right now. All right, the Bills. They were somebody that I was saying, all right, I think they might have something. Then they have just looked bad the past couple of weeks. You can't go to play the Jets and do what you did. That tells me right then and there, you are not really a contender. You're going to win the division because the Patriots stink and the Jets stink. And if you're not careful, the Dolphins might just sneak up on you. We got to see what Tua time is looking like. If he looks like the rest of these rookie quarterbacks, it may be a little bit scary for Buffalo coming later on in the year. But they have proven that they're not ready for this limelight. Like you said, they're going to make the playoffs back-to-back years. Josh Allen is a gunslinger. He may be able to make some things happen and make some noise, but they're not going to win anything because they just aren't ready to do it. They proved that in this game, playing against the lowly Jets and almost allowing them to squeak through with a win. You barely sneak away. I'm not impressed. I don't think that they're going to do anything. I give them a 1-star rating.
1 star for poo. Dooley, what you got for us?
Oh no, well no. Honestly, I never said they were going to win anything. What I was saying was they're worth paying attention to now. You know what I mean? And you could say, for instance, no, I'm not comparing them to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, but this is the weakest. This has been arguably the weakest division in football the last 20 years. Let's just be honest. The Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Now that Tom's out of town, all of a sudden the Patriots are 2-4. By the way, it's looking like it was all Tom Brady, not Bill Belichick. But guess what? We're only 6 games into the season. Stop giving me that look. You know I'm right. Okay?
Let's wait and see there, guy.
Okay.
Let's wait and see there.
Okay, 6 games in. Let's see what it looks like 6 games from now.
Hold your horse, you dear buddy.
If they don't make the playoffs, it was Tom Brady.
No.
We're not doing that.
You can't say that, Dooley. No, Dooley.
What if Tampa Bay makes the playoffs, though? If Tampa Bay makes the playoffs,
it doesn't matter if Tampa Bay makes the playoffs. Tampa Bay could have made the playoffs last year if Jameis Winston wasn't throwing all them picks to the other team.
If hypothetical.
It makes a difference when you got a quarterback that doesn't throw any interceptions. I mean, any quarterback that can breathe is going to do better than what Jameis Winston did last year.
But Tampa Bay is not known for going to the playoffs. That's all I was saying. They've also been another team that have struggled this last decade.
It's a new quarterback and a new coach. A coach who is a quarterback coach. So for you to come out here and say it was Tom Brady is straight garbage. Let me tell you why. Cam Newton has destroyed what Bill has built in New England. Cam Newton has not played like MVP Cam Newton. Cam Newton has played like pedestrian Cam Newton. He is not throwing the ball to anybody. I understand he doesn't have the weapons. It doesn't matter. Tom Brady made the playoffs with the same guys, and you gonna come in here talk all this mess in the hot season, in the off season, about how they turned their back on you, how you were so great. You're working for greatness, and then you put up the numbers that you're putting up right now with Bill Belichick. Oh, Cam Newton is the cause. He is going to be out of there. And as soon as they get somebody in there, maybe a Brian Hoyer, Bill will be back on top. Trust me.
They better get Fitzpatrick in town, honestly. But honestly, let's just be honest about Cam Newton. Cam, it's one of 2 things, and I'm ready to say it, okay? He's either suffering from some big-time injuries that we don't really know about, that's affecting his game, or he's done. He's overrated now.
Well, let's wait until we get to the Patriots game to talk about the Patriots. How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Let's get on to the NFC East in this hell of a game we saw with the Cowboys. They put up a whole bunch of measly 3 points in this game.
Beautiful.
And if it was me out there, I know I would at least score 6 because Charlie Whitehurst, we get into the end zone at least one time a game, all right? We would at least put up 6 points. But the Cowboys and the Washington football team looks like another backup. Looks like the backup got replaced. And that's Kyle Allen replaced Alex Smith for his final starting position again and led the Washington football team to a pretty good victory against the Cowboys. And let's also give a shout out to Ron Rivera for ringing that bell, for being done with his chemotherapy and making sure that he is A-OK to move to the future of coaching this team and also in straight. So let's make sure we give a shout out to Ron Rivera, coach of the Washington football team.
Absolutely. You know, all I want to say is the Cowgirls got spanked like they deserved, and the great Sean Taylor would be proud. You know, you got the Washington football team still in it, number 2 in a lacking division, still having an opportunity to possibly make the playoffs, possibly make a wild card. You know, is stopping. The division's trash. Anything can happen. Put it this way, nobody can predict the division. It's so bad, we're all saying the Eagles are supposed to win the division. That's not guaranteed. If you think the Eagles are winning the division just 100% sure, I can't give you that, guys. You know, the division sucks. What if the Cowboys came back and won the division? That's how weak the division is. What if the Cowboys go on a run? They could technically still win the division.
The Cowboys are running from themselves.
Right.
They're all running from themselves at this point. That team is terrible. Jerry Jones needs to go. McCarthy, you're not going to live very long in Dallas because you are out of there, sir. That team is hot garbage. That team is a negative 5-star restaurant to go and attend because where do we even start? This defense is atrocious. To let the Washington football team come into the Washington football team with Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen threw 2 touchdowns on y'all. Then you let Antonio Gibson, who hasn't run, he run probably worse than Daniel Jones, and he ran for 128 yards and a touchdown. I'm done with the Cowboys. The Cowboys need to just go sit down, just forfeit the rest of the season.
Christine says, Cowboys organization is a disgrace. How do you not do anything about that hit on your quarterback? Trash. 3 points as well. Prayers for Andy. I hope he's okay. But if the Cowboys, that's coming from an Eagles fan, of course. Now, let's talk about that hit on Andy Dalton. That was, of course, the backup quarterback, now starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Was that a hit that the team should have reacted to? Do you feel also, it's a 2-part question. Do you feel like if it was Dak, the team would have reacted in a different way?
Absolutely. If it was Dak, I think the team would have acted in a different way because for the simple fact, they don't believe in the kid Dalton, okay? They don't believe in Dalton. They know their season's in shambles, and they have no plans on turning things around. So my point is, when the wind's out of the group of people, like there's just no hope. You get what I'm saying? When it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, they don't give a damn about Dalton. You know, honestly. Matter of fact, they hoping Dalton gets hurt for the next guy. You know, honestly.
Well, he did get hurt. So.
Right. You know, because Dalton hasn't proven anything in this league either. You know, nothing. As far as I'm concerned.
Chef Boy?
The hit was, I definitely think that I agree that they would react differently. That to me just shows what a disgrace this organization is. I don't care if it's your 3rd string quarterback. If somebody lays a hit like that on any of your players, a team that has some heart, a team that is willing to fight, a team that wants to win games, a team that's a brotherhood, you're going to respond. And they didn't respond at all. They were like a team that was mentally defeated already. They don't even have each other's back within the locker room. They all sad and moping around. They not playing for each other. That to me shows you why the Cowboys are where where they are right now, because that is not a team that wants to fight or a team that has each other's back and playing for each other. That was a sad showing to have your quarterback go down and nobody respond. I'm ashamed. I can't believe it. And I just am done with the Cowboys. Just like I said, forfeit the rest of the season. You're done. Nobody wants to watch you anymore.
Now, the bad thing about that hit is, too bad I wasn't there. They called me Clipboard Jesus for a reason, because I would have brought Andy Dalton back to life. But looks like Andy Dalton might be missing a couple of games after that hit.
And just for the record,
yes, Dooley, yes.
Just so I toss this in right now. The Washington football team are winning that division.
No.
Okay? I'm going to put it out there right now. And
Dooley.
Mr. Windhurst, I'm sorry. Okay? I got the football team winning it.
We gonna have to wait and see. It's week 7. 10 more weeks. Things gonna look a lot different. So we might have to go back on this Halloween episode and see what happens in week 7. Week 17 gonna look a lot different. Christine says Eagle Cowboys Sunday night football predictions. LOL. We will not do that right now. You have to tune in to the Sports Plug Facebook page. That is when I release my predictions. But I will predict that it will be a toilet bowl worth of a game.
I predict they're going to cancel it. They're not even going to show it on TV.
I hope that they show the presidential debate instead of that. Yeah, that's how bad that is. Anyways, the Green Bay Packers versus the Houston Texans. And this game pretty much went the way that we all expected it to go. Going into this game, the Packers, of course, won with that man, Aaron Rodgers. But I will say this. Deshaun Watson, if you look at the stats by himself, I wouldn't know anything about this because I'm a backup quarterback. But as a starting quarterback, he's playing a hell of a great job. All right? Number 1 or 2 in certain ranks as quarterback. That's what Deshaun Watson brings to the tables. But when it comes to team ranks for the Texans, both on offense and defense, they're not getting it done. That's why they call it the ultimate team game, all right? Now, of course, Hopkins not being there, it hurts production. But it doesn't hurt Deshaun Watson's production because he still gets the job done. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, it's a team game. Texans' record is what it is. But for the Packers, let's talk about the Cheeseheads. What can happen with them moving forward? Do we take them seriously in a heavy stacked NFC?
You're gonna have to. Whenever Aaron Rodgers is at the helm of a team, you got to take him somewhat seriously. Even though Rodgers cannot win a Super Bowl without an elite defense, that's proven. He's only won 1 Super Bowl. He's never even been back. But ever since that Super Bowl year, he's never had that same kind of number 1, number 2 defense in the NFL, which is sad to me. Not about the defense, the fact that Rodgers hasn't been able to get his team over the hump all these seasons, regardless of the defense. Like I said, Peyton Manning and Tom Brady have been to Super Bowls without the number 1 defense. I thought Rodgers was in the same conversation as those quarterbacks. I'm sorry. So, I mean, that's just what I thought. But going back to the Texans, the Texans are in trouble. That man, Deshaun Watson, needs a defense. If this kid never gets a defense, he's never going to win anything because the Texans, obviously, he's a gunslinger. He's unstoppable. Remember last year, and what was that, the AFC Championship, or was that the second round? When they were up 24-0 on the Chiefs. Mind you, that was in Kansas City. That is a great team. But you figure Deshaun Watson puts up another 24. Mind you, they got stuffed the rest of the game. They didn't score anything. But you figure if Deshaun Watson put up another 24, bada bing, bada boom, But anyways, the Packers are one hell of a team, but I don't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything of that nature either because Rodgers needs a great defense to win it. There you go.
All right, I got you on the defensive part, but at the end of the day, they still lost that game against the Chiefs. It is what it is. No matter if they would have scored 24 more, more defense. It don't matter. The game's over with. We ain't talking about that game. We're talking about this game. And we also know that Deshaun Watson is that guy. The thing is, moving forward, like we talk about in every episode, the Houston Texans have shot themselves in the foot moving forward with Bill O'Brien at the helm because of not just the trades that they've made going away, but also just the lack of production with the trades, and then also no draft picks as well moving forward. And of course, just to update you guys as well, the NFL trade deadline, I apologize, ends November 3rd. So for the Texans, there have been a couple of guys that have been on the trading block, starting with J.J. Watt, Will Fuller, also the rest of the wide receivers. Nobody have been traded at the moment, but as of right now, if you want to get him some help moving forward, this might be the best way to do it. There are some teams that need some wide receivers that you can get some defensive help, but you're not going to get it in the draft, first, second round wise. So we have to wait and see what happens with the Texans. All right. Buccaneers versus Raiders. This was one of those upset games I thought was going to happen. I thought the Raiders might show up. They did not. Mr. Thomas Brady. Looks like the guy that poked out your eye there, Chef Boyardee. Looked like he took care of you. He went ahead and took care of the Las Vegas Raiders and put them boys to sleep. Dooley, let's go ahead and start this off with you.
Well, going back to the whole Patriots thing, Sir Thomas is 5-2, gentlemen. The Patriots are 2-4. I mean, enough said, But so, you got Thomas going to Las Vegas, new stadium, had to show out on the Raiders, just like he's been showing out on the Raiders his whole career. I wonder how many times the Raiders have beaten the Tom Brady in the last 20 years. Probably less than 3, honestly. But honestly, man, the Buccaneers are looking good. They're looking good. The defense is playing well. I honestly see them getting pretty far. The Raiders, they could have stepped it up and won that game and played better. But see, the thing about the Raiders is they're hot and cold. You never know what you're going to get out of the Raiders. And this is how the Raiders have been for years now. The consistency just isn't there. But my man, where Sir Thomas is, consistency is there. Okay? No, Ish. Yes.
Consistent pick sixes.
Oh, sure. 45-20. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just going to say they were playing the Raiders. When the Raiders beat the Chiefs, you were asking, should we take the Raiders serious? Are the Raiders going to compete? Well, here's your answer right here. The Raiders are not a serious team. They'll show up one week and then they're gone the next week. Nobody's going to take them seriously. I'm done with the Raiders. I'm done entertaining the Raiders until they show some better consistency. Probably get rid of David Carr. I'm just not even going to really.
That's Derek there. That's Derek Carr.
Derek looked like David, okay? Derek looked like David. So he need to get rid of whatever Carr is behind the center needs to go. Tom Brady, let's talk about him real quick. I'm going to give him the Chef of the Week award because Tom Brady was definitely cooking it up. The 4 touchdowns, 369 yards. We're starting to see the Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski connection coming back. My goodness. It is something to behold. It is scary to see in Tampa Bay. If they can perform on the defensive side, I definitely think that they are a team to watch for a Super Bowl going out of the NFC. Now, you got other teams. We were just talking about the Packers. This team right here in Tampa Bay is the reason why I don't take the Packers seriously, because you can't stop a team like Tampa Bay with that defense in Green Bay. You can't stop a team like Seattle with that defense in Green Bay. You can't stop a team like Arizona with that defense in Green Bay. So those 3 teams alone, I just do not believe the Packers are going to be there. But the Buccaneers are a team that everybody should be watching for in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. Let's also remind the people the addition of Antonio Brown to the Buccaneers. He should make his debut week 9 of the NFL season. Does that make them solidified in that spot to go to the Super Bowl this year, Chef Boyardee?
I don't think it solidifies them just yet. I think there's some chemistry that needs to be worked out. I think we talked about it. It would be a shame not to mention this. We talked about it early in the show with Baker Mayfield and OBJ and the pressure to get OBJ the ball. Think about what they already have in Tampa Bay. Oh my gosh, my hat is falling off. It's going crazy. Think about what we already got. We got Mike Evans. We've got Chris Godwin. We've got Rob Gronkowski. I mean, we've got so many weapons. Leonard Fournette is there. Ronald Jones is there. You got so many weapons now on that offense. Too many for Tom Brady to even count. More than he's ever had in his life. You add Antonio Brown, it just is. I think you're getting to a point where you're bringing too many people in there, too many chefs in the kitchen, if I have to say it. All right, too many chefs in the kitchen. It could throw things off. I don't know yet. Okay, I don't think it solidifies it, but it is something that is dangerous.
It's too many chefs in the kitchen, like you said. Somebody gonna get burnt. Somebody gonna get burnt. We're gonna have to wait and see what happens with that. Now, moving along, we're getting into that crazy AFC West division with the Chiefs and the Broncos. Chiefs went ahead and took care of business in snowy Denver. They went ahead and, went to Denver, scored some touchdowns, played a little snow, make some snow angels, and head back to Kansas City. What did we take away from this game, Dooley?
Absolutely nothing. The Kansas City Chiefs did what they were supposed to do. The Denver Broncos are trash. So I mean, as a Chiefs fan, you got Ish over there smiling, feeling like they've done something. Honestly, this was a win they were supposed to have. So I don't have much to say. The Broncos are a disgrace to football, and that's that. Yeah.
Now, too much. Hold up. Now, too much on the Broncos. Now, the Broncos have a pretty solid defense. Everything else is just trash, all right? Their quarterback situation has been trash for years now, but the defense has always been there. Broncos defense has been there. Even with Von Miller out since week 1 of this NFL season, their defense is pretty strong. But Drew Lock getting hurt, and then just their quarterback situation from when John Elway has taken the helm of being the general manager for the Broncos has been horrendous. Now, with the Broncos moving forward, John Elway ain't gonna fire himself. What are they gonna do moving forward? Von Miller only has so many good years left. Are they gonna start over? Are they gonna rebuild? Is Von Miller gonna find a way to get up out of there? But I will say this. The Broncos always, for some reason, find a way to get back into it, right? Wherever we count them out, they find a way to win the 10, 11 games. So we have to wait and see what happens with the Broncos.
That won't be happening this year, though, just for the record.
Not this year. Not this year.
No.
No, I'm talking about next year. I'm talking about next year.
Not at all.
And yes, eventually Von will be headed out of town. Come on. Let's talk about all great pass rushers. No great pass rusher retires with their team. They get shipped off when they're older, and that's going to happen to Von Miller as well.
He's going to Kansas City.
I hope not.
Everybody can't go to Kansas City there, man.
I hope. You know what? The Titans could use Von. Ooh.
No, he's going to Kansas City.
He definitely could be helped out in Nashville, but it all depends on the GM. So we have to wait and see on that. Now let's go ahead and finish her up with the 49ers and the Patriots. We were talking about them earlier. These Patriots, what's going on with them? Help me out, Dooley. Start it off with you.
Well, first of all, the Niners, I believe, are either 3rd or 4th in their division. What are you guys doing in New England? As this man said, this man Cam is basically shoving everything up in a little ball the Patriots have done the last 20 years and sticking it right down the drain. Okay? So the San Francisco 49ers are not the San Francisco 49ers of last year. This game should not have been this bad of a whooping. Bill Belichick, for the first time, not for the first time, but this particular game, he got out-coached and his team got outplayed. You get what I'm saying? And it doesn't happen all the time, but it's funny how these things are going without a certain Patriot player who's been at the helm for the last 20 years being there. Just for the record, Ish. I mean, I don't know. What you think?
I think that you're mistaken, sir. I think that Tom Brady is not the cause of this. The cause is being suckered in to the Patriot way. What is the Patriot way? The Patriot way is when a veteran gets released from somewhere or somebody's looking for a trade for a high-profile player that you can get on the low. The Patriots find a way to sneak in and take advantage of it. They thought they were getting MVP Cam Newton, when in reality they got Mr. McDonald's fry cook Cam Newton. Okay, they weren't getting the chef of a 5-star restaurant, so they need to go ahead and sit him on the bench, put him out. I'm sorry, you got to bring in Stidham, you got to bring in Brian Hoyer. Somebody else has got to come in there because it is just terrible. Cam Newton has thrown the legacy of the Patriots all out into the garbage. He has wasted it. He had an opportunity and he's doing absolutely nothing with it at this time. I think with the right quarterback, the Patriots would still be doing what the Patriots are used to doing. But because of Cam Newton and the changes they have tried to make to fit to him, this has turned into a nightmare in New England.
Now, I'm going to stop you right there, all right? I'm stopping right there, Chef Bardi, because I'm tired of hearing your mouth right now when it comes to these Patriots and Cam Newton, because we know damn well these were the same trash weapons that Thomas Brady had last year. And now, let's remember, last year, a lot of their team members left, and they got left with a skeleton crew of the New England Patriots that Cam have to play with on both sides of the ball. Am I going to let Cam make it? No, I am not. You want to know why? Because Cam even said after the game, the bench was something that he needed. He needed to think about what happened. On his way home, on his ride home back from leaving the game, he said if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be on the bench for much longer than just a half. And he's going to be sitting right next to me because I'm used to sitting on the bench. And we and him going to have a great talk. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about hair. And we go talk about some good stuff on the bench. But Cam don't want to talk to me. Cam want to talk to people on the field. He want to talk to people at the end of the games. When it comes to reporters, he want to look all dapper. So he going to keep on doing what he need to do to make sure he stay on that field. So this game was a wake-up call. This game was a wake-up call for Cam. And we're going to have to wait and see how Cam plays in the future because this game was a wake-up call.
It was a wake-up call for Bill Belichick to sit Cam on the bench. He's done.
It's not.
No more chances.
It's not. We will come back to this week 13, week 14. We're going to wait and see what happens with these New England Patriots. All right? All right. Going on to two teams that this is a toilet bowl game looking at it. I mean, this is pretty much a toilet bowl game, but it went the way that I expected, and that's Justin Herbert playing excellent with great head of hair like myself. The Chargers took care of business against the Pussycats. And what do we make of the Chargers moving forward? Do we see them slipping into the playoff mix?
No. The Chargers are not getting into the playoff mix. But I will say this. It is something positive to look forward to. The way Justin Herbert has been playing, I think that it is a big positive for them. They should be excited about the future, except for the fact that they play in the NFC West and they still got to deal with the Chiefs twice a year. So it's not going to get much better for them. But it is a little bit better. I think that he actually has done better for them than Phillip Rivers. That's right, Mr. Old Man Rivers in Indianapolis. But the Jaguars, I mean, we thought they were going to be better. We thought that Gardner Minshew was the guy. I'm sorry to say, Gardner, you got to go, man. It's not that he's playing bad. I just think that he's not the guy, the voice that they need on that offense to really take them to the next level. I mean, he had a decent game. You also had James Robinson, the undrafted rookie, who had a wonderful game as well. But I don't know what you need to do in Jacksonville to get them to play and be contenders again.
Well, what you're going to have to do with Jacksonville, you're going to have to start all over there. It's over. I mean, hey, they got rid of the 2017 AFC team that took them to the championship game. They're going to have to start all the way over. Gardner Minshew is not that guy. They thought he was Linsanity of the football field when he took over for Jacksonville. The Linsanity has ceased, and now you see who he really is. A gunslinger with no slinger, all right? So he gonna be just like me real soon with a good lock of hair on the bench in Jacksonville. Now let's get to the comments right quick. James Jennings said, let's talk about the Titans. Well, you're a little too late. We already talked about them. You got to tune in a little earlier to talk about the Titans and Steelers. But you can always recap the show on YouTube and also Facebook as well. So let's go ahead and finish up with that Sunday Night Football game. The Seahawks and the Cardinals. This was a game of not backup quarterbacks, but the short back quarterbacks. Well, this is a quarterback dual matchup for only 5'10 and below, baby. Shout out to Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray for putting on a hell of a performance on Sunday Night Football with the Cardinals coming out with a very close win against the Seahawks. Did this game show more about the Cardinals or the Seahawks? Let us know, gentlemen.
It definitely showed more about the Arizona Cardinals. For the simple fact, they got a young quarterback in Kyler Murray, slinging it like he's a veteran. First of all, I'm going to be honest. I have never seen a young quarterback this poised outside of like Mahomes. You know what I mean? Nobody comes into the league just slinging it like Murray's been slinging it. He's turning a franchise around that's been one of the NFL's worst franchises. Okay.
Why do you keep saying this? They've been to 2 Super Bowls.
They've been one of the NFL's worst franchises in the history. Yeah. I mean, stop saying teams. Listen.
They still went to the Super Bowl. There's 10 teams that ain't been to the Super Bowl. It does matter. It does.
Do they consistently make the playoffs?
It's hard. It's hard in the NFL, all right? It's hard. I don't want to hear that from you. I don't want to hear from you talking about every team is the worst team in the NFL. You stop that. You stop it. You stop it. Please. Because if that was the case, I wouldn't be able to be on the team, but I was, damn it. Please. I'm Charlie Whitehurst. I'm out here slanging them with the clipboard.
May I continue with my soliloquy?
Finish.
Okay. So you got the Cardinals showing great promise. They have a great future. We all thought the Seahawks were the best team in the league, and they still might be. But this was a great win on the Arizona Cardinals' part, and definitely, I think this puts them on notice. You get what I'm saying? Because now they've won 5 games themselves. Okay? So there's something to pay attention to.
I would have to agree with Dooley. I think that it says more about the Cardinals than it does about the Seahawks. I have to give my man Kyler Murray the Little Chef Award for the week because he was out there cooking it up. Although he threw that ugly pick, he still threw for 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was the little chef out there doing his thing, running around like the bad toddler that he is, evading the butt whippings from his parents and getting into the end zone. My man Kyler Murray is out here playing the game the way the game should be played. He is out here showing you what it means to have a quarterback that can throw the ball like all these quarterbacks that you like to talk about, but can also run the ball like the best of them out there. So you gotta be scared about this Cardinals offense. The only thing that they should be worried about is will the defense show up every week? Because if the defense doesn't show up in the NFC, that is how you are going to lose. They beat the Seahawks this time. Will they be able to do it again? Will they be able to beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers if they come calling? Will they be able to beat that bad man that they call Aaron Rodgers? Woo. You got to be scared of your defense when it's not consistent. That is the one thing I haven't seen from them this season.
Now, let's also remember they're in the toughest division in the NFL right now. They're going to have to play the Rams and the 49ers. The 49ers is not an easy win. So this division is a bloodbath. All right, we're going to have to wait and see how this division plays out because right now the Seahawks is in front. But it could be the Rams at the end of the day. We don't know. We have to wait and see. All right, I think that's that division there, man. Hey, you have to keep an eye on that one. You have to keep an eye out. Monday Night Football is wrap up this week 7 with the Bears and the Rams. This game went the way that it probably should have went as well. The Rams won by 2 touchdowns. Aaron Donald did what he's supposed to do, be a grown man. And we saw the Bears do what they do best.
It's about time. I've been waiting for it every week. The Bears somehow were finding a way to sneak in these wins when I knew that they were not a 5-1 team. They are a terrible team. Somehow they find a way to win because of that defense. Now, this is the type of team that you need to get a quarterback in here that can actually lead a team. Now, I would have liked to see Teddy Bridgewater join Chicago because all the stuff we were talking about Carolina and how good Teddy played, if he was in Chicago right now, they would probably be doing a lot better than what they're doing right now, maybe even undefeated, because he would lead that offense. Nick Foles has been atrocious. He has been horrible. I never thought I would see the day where I would say Mitchell Trubisky should be back in the starting lineup because Nick Foles has done horrendous things since he has come in. He has made Trubisky look more like Johnny Unitas than anybody ever could.
I know about some backup quarterbacks. I ain't saying Trubisky need to be back there again in the starting position, but hey, maybe you might know a little bit more about backup quarterbacking than I do.
No, that was a bold statement, my man. Because Trubisky, I have no faith in at all. Personally. So it's like if for Foles to be, we're talking about a Super Bowl winning quarterback here. You know what I mean? Man, the Bears are exactly who I thought they were. You know what I mean? The Bears, they've been sneaking away wins, as you say, but nonetheless, the Bears are one of those kind of teams that until they make it to the playoffs consistently and get deep in the playoffs, I'm never going to believe in the Bears, ever. Yeah.
No, I definitely understand. Like I said, this game went pretty much the way it should have went. No surprises there on that Monday Night Football. Next week, of course, is Week 8. And before we get to Week 8, we're going to talk about, for a quick second, these AFC playoff seedings. If the playoff were to start today, this is what the seedings would look like. In the AFC, we have 1, the Steelers, 2, the Chiefs, 3, the Titans, 4, the Bills, 5, the Ravens, 6, the Browns, 7, the Colts. And let's remember, this year they have a new playoff format where they added an extra seed to where that 7th seed is the Colts right now, and the Steelers would be the only team to have the bye. So with the playoff seeding right now for the AFC, how do you look? How does it look? You look like the Steelers right now would have the home field advantage. So do you still see the Chiefs being able to make their way out of that and still make a run back to the Super Bowl?
Of course. I mean, the first round they'd have the Colts, which, let's be honest, Phillip Rivers and the Colts aren't going to scare anybody, okay? So the Chiefs still are the team to beat no matter what. I say that mainly because the Steelers still have to go through the Ravens, so we got to see how they do there. And, I mean, the only team really out there that is completely scary, as I have stated week in and week out, is the Oilers sitting at number 3 because they got Derrick Henry, who come playoff time they'll hand him the ball off. And let's not forget that they are undefeated when Derrick Henry runs for over 100 yards. Playoff time is the time to run the ball. So the Oilers should be feared no matter what seed they sit in.
I would also like to add another stat as well from my Titan brethren, Derrick Henry, and this is an ode to this favorite show people out there like to call Game of Thrones, and they like to say winter is coming, correct? Well, when winter comes, when it comes by month, in September he averages 3.8 yards a carry, in October 4.3, November 5.8 yards a carry, December 5.3, and in January 5.2 yards he averages a carry. So when it gets colder and the Tennessee Titans keep giving Derrick Henry the ball, have fun tackling that grown man. All right, let's get into the NFC. Right now, number 1, the Packers. Number 2, the Seahawks. 3, Buccaneers. 4, Eagles. 5, the Bears. 6, Cardinals. And 7, the Rams. Anybody think that the Seahawks or the Buccaneers are able to go into Lambeau and pull off an upset?
Hands down. Why wouldn't they be? Let's not act like Lambeau's such a scary place to be. This isn't back in the 60s. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers has not held down Lambeau Field. Now, when you talk about going to play Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau Field, now that's scary. You get what I'm saying? But when you talk about going to go play Rodgers, oh my God, discount double check, yada yada yada.
But let's also remember both those quarterbacks still had the same amount of Super Bowls. All right, let's remember that.
Let's also remember there are no fans right now, so Lambeau has lost that mystique.
No, they did not, because when it's -3 degrees in the frozen tundra, no matter if it's fans or not, they gonna need some heater fans on the sideline to warm them hands up. That's the difference.
Right. Now, as soon as Lambeau, right. No, they got home field advantage. They got home field advantage. So, I mean, I've seen them get beat in Lambeau before. You know what I mean?
I have as well. Colin Kaepernick, you know, we see him do the thug dizzle. Exactly. So, we have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see week by week. It's a week by week league, baby. We'll see y'all next week.
I think the Rams are the wild card here because the Rams sitting at 7. There could be some shuffling with Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Rams, and you could see the Rams being the team that leads that NFC West division come playoff time. It's just a toss-up. The Rams, the problem they have is their consistency. It's just if they're gonna play the way that they should play, they could be up there in the top 3. If they play how they play some of these other teams, the weaker teams, they always play down. They might not even make the playoffs.
Like Christine says, how far do you see the Rams going? And I agree with you, Chef Boy RD. It could either be the 7 seed or it could be all the way maybe up to the 2 seed. We have to wait and see. This NFL is a week by week basis. We don't know. We gotta wait. So join us, of course, next week, and hopefully we'll definitely know some more about the seeding and know more about how the Rams look next week. Let's also remind everybody that the NFL trade deadline does end November 3rd. So if there are some updates, we will definitely let you know on the Sports Plug Facebook page. Guys, I thank y'all for joining me for this very special episode of I apologize tomorrow. My very special episode of the Sports Plug with Charlie Whitehurst, the greatest backup quarterback in the world, Chef Boy RD, and that man Dooley. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.